Have you ever opened your phone to check a message, and before you knew it, 45 minutes had passed? You weren't doing anything important, just scrolling through random posts, tapping between apps, and maybe watching a few short videos. You don't even remember what exactly you saw. This isn't laziness. It's not even a lack of discipline. It's design. Your phone, your social media, your notifications, they've been engineered to hijack your brain's attention system. And over time, that hijack creates brain fog. You feel tired, scattered, unable to focus for more than a few minutes. Your thoughts jump. You start things but don't finish them. And worst of all, you start blaming yourself. But it's not your fault. It's your wiring. And the amazing thing about the human brain is, wiring can be changed. In just 7 days, you can start to reverse the damage. You can get back your focus, calm your mind, and rediscover space to think again. And you don't need to delete everything or move to the mountains. You just need to reset intentionally. This is your 7-day digital detox, a complete reset for your brain, your habits, and your peace. Let's begin. Day 1 is not about change, it's about noticing. Today, don't fight your digital habits. Don't try to cut anything out. Just observe. Every time you reach for your phone, write it down. Every app you open, every scroll session, every notification that pulls you in, track it. You can use a notepad or a simple tally sheet. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to see clearly. Because awareness is the first step toward freedom. Most people underestimate how often they touch their phones. In fact, studies show that we interact with our phones more than 2,000 times a day. Not just unlocking them, but swiping, tapping, switching, checking. Tiny bursts of activity, each one releasing a drop of dopamine in the brain, each one reinforcing the habit. It's a loop. You get a cue, maybe a buzz or a moment of boredom. Then you act, open an app, scroll, click. And then you get a reward. Something mildly interesting, maybe a like or a message. That reward reinforces the loop, and the next time your brain is bored, it goes back for more. But what if you interrupted the loop? That's what we'll do, starting tomorrow. But for today, just notice. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel guilty. This is data. It's your baseline. And the more honest you are today, the more powerful your progress will be tomorrow. Now that you've seen your patterns clearly, it's time to start clearing space. Day 2 is about your visual environment. Because what your eyes see, your brain processes. Every icon on your phone, every open browser tab, every notification badge, it's all noise. And that noise drains your energy without you even noticing. Today, we declutter the digital surfaces of your life. Start with your phone. Take everything off your home screen. Move all your apps into folders. Leave only the 4 most essential apps visible. Apps you use daily, with purpose. No social media, no news. Only what you truly need. Then, set a simple wallpaper. Something neutral, even blank. Avoid photos, colors, or anything that creates emotional reactions. Make your phone boring. Make it a tool again. Now open your laptop or desktop. Look at your desktop screen. Is it cluttered with shortcuts, downloads, screenshots, half-finished files? Take 15 minutes. Delete what you don't need. Organize the rest into folders. If it takes more than one click to find something, it probably needs a home. Next, your browser. How many tabs do you have open right now? Each tab is a silent attention leak. Your brain knows they're there. Even when you're not looking at them, your focus is diluted. So today, close them. Use bookmarks if you're worried about losing something. Or install a session manager that saves your open tabs for later access. Your brain loves clean lines. Visual calm leads to mental calm. And when you reduce visual input, you create space for mental clarity. This might feel small, but don't underestimate it. Your brain is constantly scanning your surroundings, physical and digital. And when that environment is chaotic, your thoughts become chaotic too. So today, you're giving your brain room to breathe. You're creating space, not just on your screens, but in your mind. And that space is where focus begins. Your mind is already starting to feel lighter. But the real challenge lies deeper, inside your brain's reward system. Day 3 is about breaking the loop, the habit loop that's been trained to seek digital stimulation every few minutes. And we're going to break it with one powerful tool: delay. Your brain craves instant dopamine. That's why you check your phone the moment you're bored. That's why a 30-second wait feels like an eternity. Your attention span isn't shrinking. It's being rewired for speed and novelty. But here's a secret. If you can pause that impulse, just for 10 seconds, you gain back control. So today, you install friction. Use a blocker app like OneSec or Stay Focused. When you open a distracting app, it stops you with a delay. Just 10 seconds. And in that time, something changes. That little gap lets your prefrontal cortex come back online, the part of your brain that makes conscious decisions. And most of the time, you'll close the app before even using it. But even if you don't use an app, you can build this manually. When you feel the urge to check something, pause. Take a breath. Ask, why am I opening this? What am I trying to feel right now? It's not about judging the answer. It's about becoming aware. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's stress. But every time you delay, you teach your brain a new lesson, that it doesn't need to act on every impulse, that there's space between craving and reward. And that space is freedom. Even a few seconds can interrupt the loop. And when that loop weakens, your power returns. You become the chooser again, not the one being chosen by the algorithm. You've started pausing the impulse. But what happens next is just as important, because your brain still craves reward. And if you don't give it something better, it will fall back into old habits. Day 4 is about replacing the habit, not just resisting it. This is where you build your dopamine menu, a set of real-world activities that bring genuine pleasure without the crash that follows digital overstimulation. It could be anything: a quiet walk without your phone, sketching or doodling on paper, watering plants, writing in a journal, sitting with music and doing nothing, talking to someone face to face. None of these feel as instantly rewarding as a video scroll or a like count, at least not at first. But over time, they give you something deeper: satisfaction instead of stimulation, presence instead of performance, joy instead of comparison. Today, list out 10 analog joys, things that don't involve screens, and keep that list visible, on your desk, wall, or in your journal. Every time you pause a digital impulse, do something from that list instead. You're not punishing your brain, you're retraining it, rewiring it for depth. And this shift is subtle at first, but it builds fast. In just a few days, the idea of grabbing your phone out of habit will begin to feel hollow, because your brain will remember how good it feels to do something real. You're no longer just breaking a loop, you're building a new one that leads to clarity, creativity, and calm. And it's in those moments, unfiltered, unscrolled, that your mind begins to wake up again. That's the power of replacement. By now, you've started clearing the fog. The clutter is gone. The loops are weakening. But your potential doesn't just lie in avoiding distraction. It lies in discovering what focus feels like again. Day 5 is about creating space for deep work. You've probably heard of flow, that feeling when you're so immersed in something that time disappears. It's when your best ideas happen, when you produce your best work, and when your brain feels fully alive. But flow doesn't come randomly. It needs 2 things: time and no interruptions. So today, You build your deep work ritual. Pick something that matters, something that takes thought, attention, or creativity. Set a timer for 90 minutes. Silence your phone. Place it in another room. Block distracting sites if you're using your computer. And begin. It might feel uncomfortable at first. Your mind might itch to check something, scroll, jump around. But sit with it. Breathe through it. After 20 minutes, something happens. Your mind stops reaching outward and starts settling inward. You'll get one idea, then another. You'll start solving problems instead of avoiding them. You'll feel your own brain power returning. And that's the reward. You're not just regaining focus, you're regaining yourself. Tomorrow, we protect that focus. Day 6 is about boundaries, because even the most powerful reset can be undone if the environment stays the same. Right now, your phone is probably your shadow, next to you when you sleep, in your hand when you eat, on the table when you talk, and each of those moments is a micro-fracture in your presence. You're there, but not fully. So today, draw clear digital boundaries. No phone in the bedroom. Use an alarm clock instead. No phone during meals, no scrolling in the bathroom, no checking during conversations. These sound small, but they're not. Each one is a message to your brain. This moment matters. This space is sacred. This life is not lived through a screen. By creating phone-free zones, you create brain rest zones. Places where your mind can soften, slow down, recover. And the more you practice presence, the more natural it becomes. Now we come to the final day. Day 7 is your redesign day. This isn't about quitting technology, it's about choosing it. You now understand your patterns. You've decluttered your environment. You've delayed the impulses. You've replaced the habits. You've built focus. You've drawn boundaries. Now, you build your system. Write it down. Your personal digital code. What are your rules for using technology with intention? What time does your screen-free morning start? What time do you shut off notifications? Which apps stay and which go? What's your process for email, messages, and news? What hours are sacred for work, for family, for rest? This is your design. It reflects your values. It protects your focus. And it reminds your brain that your time is yours again. So step back and look at what you've done. In 7 days, you've taken your attention back. You've cleared your mind. You've started to feel peace again. And you've remembered what it feels like to live from within, not from the pull of a screen. It's not a detox. It's a reclaiming. And now that you have your attention back, the question is, what will you do with it? Create. Connect. Rest. Explore. You get to decide. Because your mind is yours again. And it all started with just 7 days.